Guess what I have got in my hot little hands?
Oh, wow.
I have managed to get
Please.
a copy of the one, the only, the book that has been making all the headlines.
Okay.
And I just wanted to quickly,
In
just
your
very
most
quickly,
royal voice.
read you a little passage. So this is one of the first times, apparently, that Harry and Meg's got to spend some time together. And I quote...
I just beg you, please don't say mummy.
I
please.
knocked and suspended breathing while I waited. The door flew open. That smile. Her hair was partly covering her eyes. Her arms were reaching for me. She pulled me inside and thanked her friend in one fluid motion, then slammed the door quickly before anyone saw. I want to say we hung a do not disturb sign on the door, but I don't think there was enough time.
Is this a Mills and Boon novel?
Just a little teaser of what
Is
you
this
can expect
R-rated?
So
in the book.
Whoa!
you know that in the audiobook he reads that version. So imagine him saying that in his voice in your ear. You're driving along in the car. Maybe you're going for a walk with the dog. Harry's saying that in your
You're pulling over for that bit. And
I think I'm going to be sick.
It's 15 and a half hours of him reading it too. 15 and a half hours.
There are way too many. He says mummy,
Mummy.
which freaks me out. I can't handle that.
That was beautiful, Lara. Thank you very much.
I don't know if I want to hear any more of that. Let's get...
Whirlwind series of explosive TV interviews. Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, has finally hit the shelves. Finally. Bookstores around the world bracing for big crowds. Not a lot happening at Dymocks in Sydney right now. I expected a line around the block, but no. Anyway, to discuss, let's bring in royal expert Camilla Tominey in London. Camilla, g'day. Good to have you with us. Looking forward to your thoughts on this, but let's start with the Brits. Are they more excited than the Aussies?
I don't think so, Alex. I mean, I don't think there are many queues around the block here either, probably because the leaking of the book in Spain, that early publication, means that we've had an absolute flurry, haven't we, of headlines and stories and revelations from the book that maybe once people get their hands on it, they'll be a bit disappointed because there's nothing left to say.
Exactly. He's basically said it all in all those interviews he's done, and we've heard so much from him this week, 3 interviews, as I say. Anything else that can come out of this? Any revelations dropped that you've come across?
Not really. I mean, the book itself kind of varies from the very serious, his recollections of obviously being told of the death of his mother, Diana, Princess of Wales, to the sort of ridiculous and infantile reports of his frostbitten genitals and all the rest of it. So let's say that this book is a mixed bag, but I think perhaps the sentiment in Britain, I don't know what it's like in Australia, is almost like he's shared too much information and it's a case of enough already.
Yeah, a lot there we sort of didn't really need to know, but anyway... The late night talk shows begin again. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert awaits. How do you think that'll go?
Well, I think he needs to appeal to an American audience that is also losing a little bit of interest. I mean, we know that Jimmy Kimmel, another talk show host, sort of sent him and William up, and they dressed 2 actors up as Prince and recreated the dog bowl fight. So there's a sense to which some of this isn't being taken quite as seriously as perhaps Harry takes himself.
Can you imagine for a second the conversations going on within the palace? And do you think we will ever hear from them?
Well, at the moment, they're adopting that trusty, tried and tested mantra that the late Queen used to such great effect, and that's never complain, never explain. I know Harry said that it has no meaning, but actually the palace's silence on this speaks volumes. They don't want to provide a running commentary, and it's not standing them in too bad a stead. I mean, actually, as far as the polls are concerned here anyway, the more that Harry speaks, the less popular he becomes. And conversely, the more popular the likes of William, Kate, Charles and Camilla become. So this silence strategy seems to be paying off.
Camilla, in your heart of hearts, do you think he will ever patch up this relationship with his father, with his brother, with everyone, really?
Well, I think that actually Charles is quite a forgiving person, and he'll extend the arm of friendship with regard to an invitation to the coronation, because his reasonableness almost makes the couple seem even more unreasonable. Whether they'll come or not remains to be seen. I mean, can you even imagine at this stage them walking down the aisle at Westminster Abbey? There's a chance they might be sort of booed by their own relatives, let alone members of the public. I mean, having witnessed everything we've witnessed over recent months and years with the royal family, Alex, nothing would surprise me. But I'd say a rapprochement is a bit of a way off after everything that's been said and done since Thursday.
I think you're absolutely right there, Camilla. Love hearing your thoughts. So thanks so much for being with us.
After a week of leaks, heavy promotion and royal drama, Prince Harry's book Spare has finally been released worldwide. And to celebrate, the Duke has graced the cover of People magazine as he hopes to break publishing records. We have reporters in both Europe and Sydney covering the book launch. First, though, let's go to our Europe correspondent Brett McLeod in London. Brett, the Prince's PR blitz, it still isn't over.
It rolls on relentlessly, Lara. That's right. The latest is front cover of People magazine, and inside he has to respond. He's chosen to respond to criticism of him in his book, claiming he killed 25 Taliban while serving in Afghanistan. He said it's part of his journey of healing, and he hopes it will help others. Many others in the armed services are critical of him for announcing that information. The book itself, well, the publisher Penguin says it sold 400,000 copies, mainly on pre-sale. That would make it the highest selling non-fiction book ever, according to the publisher. Question is, what happens now that all the details are out? The media blitz pretty much finishes in a few hours when he's on Stephen Colbert's Late Show. Some clips have been released showing the pair appearing to have tequilas while on set. Well, it'll be interesting to see what reaction Harry gets from the audience, Lara.
Indeed, Brett, thank you. Now let's go to Gabrielle Boyle, who joins us from Sydney. Gabby, bookshops here are hoping for long lines. Is anyone outside yet?
Well, not yet, Lara. It's a few hours yet, but they certainly are. Cancel your plans, Australia. Call in sick, grab a book and spend the day on the couch reading about all the dysfunction in the royal family, because as you heard there, Harry's book is finally dropping not only overseas but right here in Australia. It is a deep dive into Harry's life, everything that's gone on, all of his complaints, all of his woes, his career, his personal life, his family. There's been loads of leaks over the last few weeks. We've had sneak peeks and snippets of exactly what's being said, so there won't be any major surprises, but certainly there'll be plenty of royal watchers very keen to chew over each and every word that is revealed in this 416-page book. Of course, one group that will be very keen to read it as well would no doubt be the royal family. Whether they've been able to chew over each and every word yet remains to be seen, but I reckon they would have a copy on order. Here at Dymocks this morning in the CBD, well, you can get a free hot drink with every purchase. I reckon if I had to read that entire book, I would need a free stiff drink. Well, we were told to expect long lines here at Dymocks, but as you can see, nobody lining up yet. But that doesn't mean, of course, that it's not going to be an absolute bestseller. This is anticipated to be the best-selling book of 2023. Harry's tell-all Spare. He talks about his childhood, his time in the military, his very controversial family, arguably the most famous family in the world, and, of course, his marriage to actress Meghan Markle. I am joined by John this morning. You are the store manager here. How many books are you expecting to sell?
Well, we've got 2,000 copies came in yesterday. We're hoping we're going to sell out today. We've got more on order if that does happen. The demand before today was huge. Our pre-orders have doubled since Friday. So while there's not a lot of people here at 8:30 in the morning, we're expecting a big surge throughout the day and seeing copies fly off the shelves.
And tell me, it's been embargoed, but we attempted late last night to duck down to the storage department, slip a box open and have a bit of a read.
No, the embargo agreements we have to sign are quite strict, so we know not to go anywhere near the boxes. They're all security sealed and everything, so we stayed away until this morning, and then this morning was all go getting everything set up, so there's no time to even flick through the pictures yet. So hopefully later today I can have a look at a copy.
Be honest, will you take a copy home tonight to read?
I might have a peek at one tonight, yeah.
G'day Today Show viewers. Thanks for watching YouTube. Our YouTube channel is fantastic. Subscribe now for brand new videos every day and exclusive bonus clips. Come on, you know you want to.